And we're back with a little bit of oxygen not included on Oasisse. Now, at the moment, I'm cleaning up this industrial sauna we've created. One of the great things about this sauna, though, is I now can just dump any heat producing buildings in here and not care. In fact, they're a benefit. Dumping as much heat in here just helps this. So, despite all the time and effort that went into creating this, I now get to reap the benefits of sheer convenience of dumping everything here that I don't care about. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm dumping in a whole bunch of batteries. Instead of making a battery box somewhere with some sort of cooling solution, instead I just make them out of steel because how much steel have I got on this map? Yeah, somewhere between ridiculous and super ridiculous. I have 74 tons of steel. Bearing in mind all these transformers, these power plants, everything in here is made out of steel pretty much. Still got 74 tons of it left and quite a lot more I can make. Now, I've thrown in all those batteries there so I can remove the ones from over here. I want to get a little bit more industry up and running. As well as that, if we check the power overlay here, what I've done is I've run the power spine down this side because the duplicants won't be over this side at all. And I've thrown in a whole array of power transformers. What I want to do is rip out all the heavy watt wire here that's really got horrible negative decor, remove that, and then run just regular conductive wire, which has no decor malice at all, and use that to power everything. Jeff Kaz pointed this out a while back. Why didn't I just put a row of transformers down here and use them to power this so I could avoid the decor malice? Well, I was going to get around to it, but I was a bit slow, Jeff, because I still haven't sorted this area out and haven't maxed out the decor in here. So first I'll get around to this, then that. I'm almost at the point where I can start maxing out the decor on my dupes. This way I can transfer, well, remove all the negative decor from here and get us up and running in a nice, reasonable manner. Currently, this is what the decor looks like here when my dupes are around. It's minus 300, minus 400. If my dupes ever come in here, it effectively negates any decor exposure they get anywhere else on the map. So it's a bit of a downside. We really want to get rid of that sooner rather than later. So what I've done here is just replaced it all with conductive wire, and this has got it all up and running off these power transformers. All it cost me was a bit of steel and some lead. Lead I'm swimming in, and steel, we're doing quite well on the steel, though, yeah, I'm going to spend so much of it I run out, I just know I am. Decor wise, it's now looking a lot better. Well, minus 40 to minus 70, ooh, minus 100 and something in some places. There is a lot of negative decor around here from debris. I'm going to have to clean all that up. But yeah, that's a little side project for later. We should really take care of some of the messes I've left behind. Dear Lord. It's amazing all the little bits and pieces you put in as you're going along, and then you forget all about them. Now, next up, I've got to start relieving the pressure in here. The pressure in here is getting way too high. That's because all the polluted water coming out of these is turning back into steam. We can see it down here. There it is, little packets of it as it falls down out of the petroleum generators. So I need to start relieving that pressure, and I'm going to need a dump tank. A tank where I can dump all this excess water that they're producing. So I'm thinking up here looks good. There's already some naturally occurring abyssalite. This is going to be 95-degree water, of course. I can build it up quite high, and that should give me storage at least for a while until I find a more permanent solution for the problem. A quick bit of a clean up and a sweep out. We'll get an insulated pipe in there because all the output water from the steam turbines is going to be, 95 degrees. So that's a nice tank. We've got some abyssalite at the bottom. I'll double layer this insulation later, but for the time being, I really need to get some of that steam pressure out of there. It's up to 30 kilos in here. For the time being, all these three steam turbines are going to recycle it to kill heat. This one over here, it's going to be all liquid removal. That's all they're here for. They're not actually here to destroy any of the heat. There's not really going to be that much heat to destroy, no matter how many transformers and batteries I put in here. Oh, that reminds me, I also got to put in a plastic press. I think I'll stick in a couple of plastic presses down here. They can add a lot more heat than that can. Now we've got to put in some sort of system for extracting the water and some automation to tell it when to do it. And it's all going to be down to, well, pressure sensors. So grab an automation sensor, should be fairly straightforward. Atmo, do we want lead? Yeah, it's never going to get that hot in here. Well, let's hope it never gets that hot in here. Lead, yeah, that's grand. And there we go. Then we'll set this so that if the pressure in here is ever above, I want to say 18 kilos, say 15 kilos of pressure. If the pressure in here is above 15 kilos of pressure, these will turn on and start extracting steam. We don't care about the heat. The heat will be handled on the far right. We want to set you to 1800. The pressure is above, actually 1500. The pressure is above 1500, you're going to turn on and start removing the steam out of there. Well, that's assuming we can get the steam hot enough that it will be extracted. Ooh, and we're gonna have to start getting Slicksters in here as well. Anyway, I've also run one more power cable out of here that I forgot to run. This power cable goes up here and it feeds into the petroleum boiler. I'm going to leave these coal generators here. These are emergency backup power in case anything happens to my main power brick, which could happen. It really could. I haven't been too. This is a new design, so we'll see how it works out. That just means that no matter what happens, this will have uninterrupted power and should never, ever need to be switched off. Though I might want to put together a little bit of a reserve. At the moment, it's currently just burning all of it off as soon as it produces it. But later. We first got to get some slicksters up here up and running. So if we get into the oil biome, yeah, this is looking really funky at the moment. The water or the liquids have formed. I don't know what the physics of the liquid are, but that really feels like that should be flowing down here somehow. I've been extracting all of this and dumping it into this tank, and I'm trying to stop all the steam from forming. It's so hot over here, it's flashing the liquid to steam or the water to steam. So I've started dumping the oil on this side to try and cool things down. I still have plenty of oil that I shouldn't need to worry about this for a little while. Anyway, that said, I need to find myself some slicksters. Simplest thing to do, we will just put down a few mesh tiles. And I am going to wall in the oil biome. Where can I cut it off? This would probably be the simplest place to cut it off right here. And that there should make this a rather large room. Well, yeah, 7,528 tiles. It's a bit of a big room, but not the worst. Now, what I've done here is I've stuck down a critter drop-off, and I'm going to set it to auto-wrangle surplus. Anything above one critter, actually, anything above 0 critters. What that should do is allow my duplicants to come over here. They will sit there, tap their hands on their knees, and draw over any critters that are nearby. I could try putting down plastic traps, though they'll probably melt. It's above plastic traps overheat at about 75. Where is it? Overheat temperature 75. Yeah, so if I start putting plastic traps down here, they're going to start overheating rapidly. Oh, I need to put in drop-offs for these, don't I? Oh yeah, slicksters. Up here, we're going to be putting down. We'll put them in this place first. And that's slicksters and slickster larvae. We're also going to want molten larvae and molten slicksters. I'm going to make these all molten after a while, namely because the temperature in here will be above 100 degrees. One of the joys of this system is if you expose regular slicksters to temperatures above 100 degrees, their reproductive chances of having molten slicksters keeps going up. So as long as I keep my slicksters in here, I'll be getting 99% just molten slickster eggs. And that means I can get nothing but petroleum out of them. It'll simplify things just a little bit. Not straight away, but soon enough. Is that one right there? Yes, excellent. We already have one slicksters to start taking care of our carbon. Oh, 25 kilos. Yeah, yeah, I'm going to need to get more slicksters very, very quickly. And I'm also going to need to set up automation for critter reproduction. I think what I'm going to do is use an actual powered incubator. It will cost me energy, but not really really a problem at the moment. Our energy consumption needs are pretty minuscule. Let's take a look at our power grid. What's our energy at? Potential power consumed. Power produced 12.55 kilowatts. Oh, excellent. Oh, and that reminds me, I need to start running my core base on this as well. I need to run a power wire from over here into my core base, a couple of them, just to take over from the coal generators and hydrogen generators that are down here. Shouldn't be too hard. I'll do that a bit later, though. I really do want to get these slicksters up and running. Now, to run the slicksters, I've decided to take a slightly different approach. What I'm going to do is have the eggs in here, picked up by this sweeper, dumped into the conveyor loader. That conveyor loader will send them up here and into a conveyor receptacle. At this point, this auto sweeper will have a choice. It will either dump them into the incubators, or I'm going to ship them off to our evolution chamber. So, yeah, that's it, a steel. Oh, yeah, I was doing some yellow alert digging down below. Turns out I messed up on the I was trying to get some slicksters. They were trapped inside some tiles, so I dug the tile out. Unfortunately, I exposed a bunch of hot abyssalite and it started boiling at 2 sour gas. Yeah, there's a little bit more sour gas messed down in my oil biome. Nothing that can be done about it. Doesn't matter. I'll sort it out later. Now, this is going to feed across here. Yeah, we'll send it up through here. Boom, and that will feed the excess eggs over there into the evolution chamber, which will dump them into the meat section. So, eggs get whipped out of here, dumped into there. If these have any free spaces, the auto sweeper will fill them up. If they don't have any free spaces, the auto sweeper will have to find something else to do. As in this conveyor loader off to the evolution chamber. I believe slicksters can now drown. Before they couldn't, I don't think, but now they should be able to. Otherwise, I'm going to need to start installing some serious cooling over the other side. We'll see what happens. Also going to need to put in some power for these, aren't I? I think I have plenty of available power on some of these wires. Yeah, that's 1.8, 1.32. You know what? This one here could probably provide most of the power to the rest of these. 1.45. Yeah, I got plenty of excess power running around. And that should solve that problem. I'll have to double check to make sure I'm not overloading any of those wires. Though considering how intermittently they'll be used, it shouldn't really make a difference. I just like to make sure all my wires are not too overloaded. Oh, that's going to have to be set to... Wait, no. I'm going to wait until I've got a stockpile of eggs. I need to make sure these two incubators are running. I don't have enough eggs just yet to keep everything flowing. Why is that one? That should have been set to continuous. You know what? I think I lost something during a save reload. Never mind, we'll figure it out as we go along. Well, that's all the Slicksters I could find down in the oil biome. It seems the rest of them either died off or got... they seem to be gone anyway, so I'm starting with 3. This is going to make this a little bit slow to spin up. To compensate for that, I've already switched over all these hatches over here to sedimentary rock. So all of them here are living on sedimentary rock, and I'm turning them all into stone hatches, slowly but surely. Stone hatches give me more options because I can feed them on, igneous rock and granite and sandstone. Well, sandstone already. But I have more sedimentary rock than I have sand left, so yeah, good idea. Now, water here is finally started to go in, or is it? Ah, yes, here we are. This atmosensor is able to detect that it's 1500 degree. Well, it's 1500 or sure, that's 1.5 kilos. No, it's supposed to be 1.5. Yes, 15 kilos. There we go. That's a lot better. So that will keep operating and keep extracting water out of here and dumping it over here until this has hit the correct temperature. That means it's getting pretty warm in here, but I can live with that. I don't think I really need to recirculate any water. That's what this is for. This is what provides cooling to everything. So I think we're good. The carbon dioxide cloud should continue to expand as this goes along as well. The reason the carbon dioxide cloud will expand is as the gas pressure from the steam starts to, well, go away, it will get sucked up into these, and that will leave this carbon dioxide cloud to expand. I mean, it's 28 kilos. This should really only be about 15 kilos of pressure. I'm going to need to balance how much steam I extract versus how many slicksters I have. This is going to take a little bit of a balancing act at the start, but once it's stabilized, we should be fine. Now, that's some of the basics out of the way with, but there is several things I do need to get optimized. One is I need far, far, far more plastic production. So what I'm going to do is stick it down here where all the water drops off. Ooh, and we can deconstruct those. Don't want any of you down there. Now, refinement. We're going to, of course, make these out of steel. They're going to be down the bottom of the map. Place you there. Place another one there. Do we need a third? Nah, 2 is more than plenty usually. Plumbing-wise, we'll just get an insulated pipe. We should have enough ceramic by now, and then I'll just run that straight down. Oh. Well, that's a little bit weird, isn't it? 1 second. And there we go. So it's insulated all the way down in ceramic. That will dump off into the 2 petroleum, or into the 2 plastic presses. And the great thing about it is we don't care about the heat. Not even a little bit. The more heat it generates down here, the better, in fact. So, yeah, perfect. This is one of the benefits of a hot industrial brick. Though I do probably want to get that plastic out of there. To get it out of there... Oh, and I also got to get rid of the carbon dioxide. Oh, and the pressure in here is still too high. I need to get the pressure of carbon dioxide in here below 20 kilos. That way I can dump the carbon dioxide from this into the room. For the time being, I might just dump it outside the room, just until we've got enough slicksters to take care of our current problems. So, yeah, dump this over here. And there we go for insulated gas pipe out into here. That should be fine. What else are we missing? Oh, yep, I'm going to put in some auto sweepers here. So I've got an auto sweeper in here, I've got the conveyor loader, and then we're going to want some shipping rails. Let's grab some copper ore, it's the most plentiful material we have. Now, where are we going to dump this? I think I'm going to dump it over there, but I want to cool it down first. Wait, no, why would I cool it down? This is a hot map, we don't need to cool anything. Yeah, this will be fine. Probably. Ooh, that's a lot of copper. I don't know why I'm running them this far, but hey, why not? Oh, for these, yeah, we'll still go with copper ore. I don't be wasting any of that aluminum. Its conductivity is just far too tasty to be wasting on something that's silly. And I think, you know what? We will dump it up here into our communal drop-off. Done. This is going to be my automatic sweep dispensary area. What have we got in here? So far, not too much. It will be fine. I thought I set those to sweep, did I? Yeah, sweep only. Good, good, good. Alright, that will get plastic sorted, and plastic production has already begun. You can see the little blobs of steam coming off them. One downside I hadn't anticipated of this whole system is my Slicksters are not getting temperature very quickly. I mean, they're getting some temperature, just not a lot. Which is bizarre. They're surrounded by temperature shift plates. It's just the carbon dioxide has such low thermal conductivity. We'll scrap some carbon dioxide there. Yeah, thermal conductivity is 0.015. So despite being in 130 degree carbon dioxide, they're still nice and chilly. Oh, ooh, the newer ones are hotter. Why is that? So it's only the adults that are taking longer? You know what? I don't care. Some of them are getting up there already. This one's at 99.2. Gains a few more degrees, we'll start getting increased molten larvae chances. Well, let's hope. Now that I've got plastic production up and running, we can start running plastic transport tubes if you want. Well, plastic transport tubes are kind of a necessity if you want to do space. It's just the huge transport distances, you're better off doing that. So I want to take another side project, poke shells. I want to start condensing them down into one location so that I can start harvesting them for lime. Yes, I want more lime because, whoa, my iron ore is down to 11 tons. You know, I might want to slow down on that iron ore production. Yeah, you know what, we'll turn you off until I can get my hands on some more iron ore. And iron, we've got 40 tons. Yeah, you can keep turning that into steel. Actually, steel-wise, what are we short on? We've got, oh, we're going to need a bunch more refined carbon. So we'll stop some of this. And actually, instead of stopping it, we'll just throw in another 50 of that. We'll turn you off for a second and then turn you back on. What I usually like to do is queue up 50, then disable anything that's on infinite. Sometimes the infinite ones will just keep going, but this way it should only do refined carbon from now on until the refined carbon is done. Then it'll switch back to ceramics. Pressure-wise, we're down to 25 kilos. We're taking 5 kilos of pressure out of here with 5 steam turbines working full steam ahead, if you'll excuse the pun, dumping quite a bit of water. How much water is in that pipe? I think it's 10 kilos. Yeah, they're extracting 10 kilos of water per second. Yeah, that's pretty mental. Anyway, next up, poke shells was it? Yeah, poke shells was the next one. No, power. I want to get power in my core base sorted. If I check the power overlay here, I have one wire with a potential for 3.8 and another with a potential for 4.4. I need to start minimizing power draw, or at least put in some sort of restraints on them. Maybe throw in a few power transformers over here and start feeding the power out into my base. And that should get me enough power. I threw in 4 power transformers here. Power transformers don't affect a stables, so this is still a stables even though there's 4 transformers stuck in it. In fact, you can stick in batteries, transformers. I'm pretty sure you can throw in a power plant. It doesn't seem to care. Where's stables? A grooming station. That's all it requires, meaning you can cram the back end of your stables with whatever you like. Doesn't matter. I've also started sticking in a few statues to start perking up the decor. Yeah, it'll take a while, and some places won't quite get any decent decor, but it's pretty much the best I can hope for now. I can start removing some of the storage bins maybe and replace them. I'm getting to the point where I've refined quite a lot of the metals that are out there. I changed this up to 20 kilos because the carbon dioxide is starting to go a little bit crazy. At the moment, did any of these drop any eggs yet? Yes, they did. There is a larva egg waiting in here. So let's stick that larva egg in here and incubate. Oh, continuous? I don't want to do it continuous just yet. I want to try and see if I can't get my hands on some molten larva eggs. As for that, where were we? Slickster 1. No, you're... the Slickster. Body temperature of 102 degrees, and the molten larvae chances have already gone up to 70%, or 7%. They start at 2%, and the longer its temperature is above 100 degrees, its body temperature is above 100 degrees, the more those chances will go up. I want to move over to molten Slicksters. I've never really used them that much. I'd prefer to just get the crude and boil it, but in this instance, I think it might be... it seems to fit in with the theme of running a hot base, so let's go for it. Now, once these are done up, I have 4 power cables I can potentially draw on to feed into my base. I might want to finish off this double insulation. My base, it's going to get a bit warm out here. Judging by the way I've played so far, it's definitely going to get warm out here. We'll dig up some of you as well. Dupe should still be able to reach all of that. Ooh, oh, you can go as well. Ooh, one thing I feel like I should point out was this over here, my arbor tree farming area. All I've been doing is just digging these up periodically. And Then they get replanted by the pips. They grow up, the pips rummage through them, and I end up with a few more acorns every so often. My acorns are up to 44, so I have 44 arbor acorn seeds at this point, and I can put myself together quite a nice forest later in the game. I've still been harvesting all the lumber off these, though honestly, I don't think so. I don't think it's worth it. I'm going to disable the harvest on all of these. It's just a waste of labor. I haven't found a use for the lumber yet. Maybe later on when I'm running sleet wheat, I'll need the dirt, but I probably won't because I'll probably run the sleet wheat wild using pips to plant them. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, I'm going to finish this off and get the power running into the base. A quick change in the power cabling here. I have this one wired up to this set of generators, second cable hooked up to this set of generators. That's taken the load off those generators and they should never turn on again, they're just backups. This one is hooked into all of the Atmosuit docks. So there's no way I'm ever removing those coal generators. They're 100% necessary to make sure my Atmosuit docks don't go down. The next one I'm going to bring in across here, and the plan with this one is to take some load off the second wire. We'll put that up there. I don't want to kill those plants. Those plants are providing my natural park bonus, which is quite nice at the moment. And we hop that across there. So then this wire will take over everything above this point on the line, and I can start deleting this stuff below it. So once that wire is hooked up, I can delete this, and everything up here, the science facilities and all that, will all get taken care of by that one wire there. Also, there's a few random pumps I have over here. I have a couple of separate pumps for taking care of water issues. That should hopefully get everything set up. Ooh, and I still have to get this onto... Actually, no, I don't have to get this onto the main grid. This is self-powered. Yeah, we'll leave that exactly where it is for now. That should take care of most of my power needs. I've got a fourth wire here that I still have not found a use for, but I'm sure something will come along that will be found as useful. Do we have a larva egg? Yes, we have another larva egg. So you know what? We'll get rid of that, cancel, and we'll just put in a larva egg. Why do I have the access to two? Where's the second one? Where are you? You know what? Never mind. I think I'm just going to be stuck using larva for a while until these slicksters start generating more moltens. That's going to take some time, it seems. So it would turn out I'm also blind. The reason being, if I just scroll down here just a little bit, you'll notice there's 4 wild slicksters just roaming around down here, right, like literally right under my slickster farm, and I completely blanked that they were there. Well, time to take care of that. So what I've done is I've walled them in with a few doors, so we've got ourselves a little room, and now we're going to have them all wrangled up and dumped in here into our slickster farm. We can go from having 3 slicksters to 7. Yes, this would have been a smart thing to do a while back. However, we've already got 2 incubators up and running. We're getting eggs up and running, though the amount of pressure in here is getting intense. I may have to start... I think I will definitely have to start moving carbon dioxide up to the top of the map. I'll just stick in a couple of power pumps or gas pumps over here. Should be pretty easy. Reason being, we can run them up this direction. Though I'm going to have to do an airlock up here so that we don't lose any gas to space. And that should get us a liquid lock right there. Once that liquid lock is in place, I'm going to fill it full of salt water, which just happens to be right close by, which is very handy. I can then break out into here and start dumping that excess carbon dioxide into space. I hopefully won't have to do this for very long. It will depend on how long it takes me to get my slickster farms up and running. Now, where were we? Yeah, but I'm going to need somewhere to put those gas pumps, and I'm thinking over here seems like a good spot. They'll be out of the way of most of the other stuff. We're going to have to make these out of steel, of course. A couple of gas pumps. Yeah, fine. I think we should be able to get away with just 2 for now. Do I need to insulate these? Well, it's a hot base. You know what? No, we're not going to insulate them. That would be against the rules. We're going to just let hot stuff roam around the base. You can go straight through there. Don't care. Don't care. Yeah, still don't care. And then we'll... Ooh. You know what? I might want to replace some of these with real blocks. Yeah, that would be probably an idea. Just because I will have to replace them later. If I do it now, it just saves me a bit of time. Cancel all of this. Perfect. Now I won't have to do any nasty shenanigans there. So that's set to auto bottle. Yeah, enabled auto bottle, and it is going to dump out salt water. Unfortunately, there's random pieces of small salt water scattered about the map. They'll probably get added in first. So I'm not going to pay attention for this for a while, and then when I come back and it's overflowing, then I'll know that I made a mistake. Yes, that sounds a bit normal. Is there a way to... Yeah, there's no automation on any of these. Yeah, no, I'm just going to have to live with that overflow. Good thing to look out for is where's that overflow going to hit first? It's going to fall right down here, and never mind. It will end up in the... What the... How did that slickster end up there? Um, hmm. That is dumping crude oil where it should not be dumping crude oil. We're just going to stick that there, and we're going to wrangle up that... Oh no, I'm going to end up wrangling all the poke shells as well. You know what? I can wrangle up the 3 poke shells. That's fine. Does any crude... Yeah, there we go. Crude oil down here. Damn it. Okay, that can get mopped. Perfect. There's always some little jobs that need doing. There's also all this natural gas I want to harness and throw into my power brick. You know what? Let's put in the infrastructure for that just now while we've got the time. Natural gas made out of steel. We'll put them... Yeah, there. 4 of them is fine. You know what? No, we'll go 5. Nope. Won't fit? Why will that not fit? Oh, yeah. There we go. We'll put in 5 of them. The great thing about the natural gas is I can just dump it straight into the system. And yeah, there's one here as well. So it comes out at 150C, so dumping it into the system will just generate me more power. So I'm going to dump it in here, insulate the pipes until it gets to this hot box, and then let that 150C natural gas just do its thing. As a minor side protection, there was a comment on my current video, Monday's one, and they were saying that this will eventually overheat if I'm not careful, so I should drop some more water back in. So I have set up a tiny little bit of automation in here as well. This is just a temperature sensor set to 150. So if the temperature in here goes above 150, it starts pulling water out of the steam turbines to dump back into the cooling system, or dump back into the system, just to make sure we keep the temperature below 150. It seems to be working, though it's still quite cool down here, despite what the plastic presses are doing. Now, I've got some sweep commands set up as well to remove some of the gunk that was lying about the place. I'm trying to get the decor levels in here to be still not perfect. Oh my, that carbon dioxide is getting pretty close to the top of the map. Yeah, no, I've got to finish off this right about now. Yeah, these gas, the natural gas, this carbon dioxide, it needs to be vented. I stopped it. I didn't have an overflowing liquid lock. Yes. I know that may not seem like a big deal, but for me that's a big deal. Normally I always mess those up. That means we can start digging out here, and you know what? We'll go out 2 tiles, and then we'll just do a ladder up. And all we want to do, just all we're looking for here, is just to get enough space to get a gas pipe out. That's all I want. Okay, make me a little bit of space on each side. Yeah, a little bit of space each side. That should get us out of there. And there we go. That will give me my... Oh, wait a minute. Get rid of that. That will give me the escape vent for my natural, or my carbon dioxide. I might need to put in a second one though. Those 2 things do generate quite a lot of carbon dioxide to start, and it's definitely overpressurizing down here. My steam is just, it's trapped on the very top floor now. That's all I've got left. Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, I'm incubating eggs like crazy. I'm going to have to start moving eggs along. How many eggs do I have in this? Nope, I actually have no spare eggs. The only reason I found out about those other eggs was, yeah, I clicked larva egg. It brought me down here, and that's when I realized there was 4 wild slicksters down here that I hadn't been accessing. Ooh, there's an awful lot of poke shell motes in here. That's an awful lot more lime. I'm going to need more iron ore. It's always nice to know that. How is this doing? Oh, I think I turned off iron. Iron to steel. Oh, come on. 32 tons of iron, over 4 tons of refined carbon, 1.7 tons of lime. Yeah, that's going to keep going for a long time to come. Excellent. So the gas pumps have kicked in, and I'm now pumping some of that carbon dioxide out of there. Little bit of automation. We're going to stick in an atmo sensor, and we're going to set it to 15 kilos of pressure. The same as I was going to set this thing to, but I need to pull out an awful lot of carbon dioxide right about now. Once that's set to 15 kilos of pressure, I think we'll call it a video. At that point, I think I'm up to about 30 minutes of footage. Next video, I need to take care of all the poke shells. There's loads of poke shells running around the map, and I want to condense them all into one area. Also, I need to dump off my polluted dirt. Where is it? The polluted dirt over here? Yeah, this water sieve has been running since, oh, I can't remember when, cycle 50 or so. And I have managed to accumulate quite a bit of polluted dirt in here. I haven't been composting it. I have not used a single compost in this entire game. All I did was stick in a deodorizer right here, and that stopped all the problems. That seems like a very simple way of taking care of polluted dirt. Dump it in some storage bins, worry about it later. For example, when I get my hands on mulch. Now, another thing I'm going to want to do after I do the mulch is I want to finally finish off the decor in here. I am going to put in diamond window tiles everywhere, and we're going to replace all these plants with proper aero pots, just so we can get a proper decor and get rid of all the debris in here. It's going to be tidy up time. We should have plenty of food coming in from with the combination of the slicksters and the hatches. I should have plenty of food coming in. The oxygen is already sorted. We've got a pretty much an infinite amount of that coming in. Power wise, yeah, we're good to go for quite some time. Well, no, where was it? Number 7. We have this much crude oil to run on. I need to hook up a few oil wells. That will be, I'll do a little bit of decor and molds in the end, and then we'll be hooking up oil wells to have enough oil to keep our petroleum boiler running forever. At that point, we should have a perfectly stable base, and we can start getting into some of the more ludicrous projects. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and it was at least mildly informative, and good luck.